Now, The Intercept out with another great article from Lee Fong, who is talking about a prominent New York Democrat taking money from Republicans. Now, The Intercept explains. Faced with a surprisingly strong challenge from progressive first-time candidate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in New York's Democratic primary, Crowley, the fourth-ranking House Democrat, is slated to appear at the offices of BGR Group in Washington, D.C. for a fundraising reception, according to an invitation obtained by The Intercept. Now, that invitation lists Crowley's position in leadership of the Democratic Party and as a member of the Ways and Means Committee, which oversees important tax policy. Now, the fundraiser, which asks for $500 minimum to attend as an individual or $1,000 to attend as if you're part of a political action committee, is sort of weird, as Fong points out on this, because he's a Democrat. He's a Democrat. He's supposed to be an opponent of the Republican Party. He's supposed to resist, right? Well, BGR, all of its founding partners were Republicans. Now, it's actually named after that. It's baked into the name. BGR stands for Haley Barbour, Ed Rogers, and Lanny Griffith. Now, Haley Barbour, of course, is a former RNC chairman. Ed Rogers is a former aide to President Ronald Reagan, and Griffith is a former education official in the George H.W. Bush administration. Now, the firm also, while being made up of Republicans, has a huge Republican list of clients. BGR Group represents defense contractor Raytheon, Huntington Ingalls, and United Technologies on procurement. So, oh, look, Republicans, defense contractors, and pharmaceutical companies, which include Eli Lilly and Company, retain BGR Group explicitly to stave off the threat of lowering drug prices, according to lobbying disclosures. Cardinal Health, which is facing lawsuits across the country for its role in fueling the opioid epidemic by supplying known pill mill pharmacies, hired BGR Group on pending legislation to deal with pharmaceutical product distribution. Other firms that are facing increasing scrutiny include Amazon, Verizon, and Chevron. Those are also BGR Group clients. Now, that's not the only problematic clients. BGR Group also boasts a roster of foreign clients. They represent Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia right now is at war with Yemen. Is a massive human rights crisis going on in Yemen. There's a famine thanks to the war, and we are supplying Saudi Arabia with missiles. Wonderful. Now, not only that, but there's a little bit of a Russian connection as well. In case you're not concerned, establishment Democrats. BGR represents two companies controlled by Russian billionaire Mikhail Fridman. That is Alpha Bank and Letter One Holdings. Now, right now, the Alpha Bank is being scrutinized for suspicious communications between the Trump organization and their computer servers during the presidential campaign. What happened is this weird server out in the middle of nowhere kept pinging the Trump Tower for some weird reason, and we haven't figured out why. Now, look, the firm, as I said before, it is a partisan outlet, but they have been hiring Democrats to expand its bipartisan outreach on behalf of the clients. Now, Jonathan Mance, for example, is one of the hosts of the Crowley event and is a BGR Group lobbyist involved in Democratic politics. Nonetheless, they are still very outspoken within the GOP. For example, one BGR Group chair pens a regular column for the Washington Post. Now, in a column last month, he scorned Democrats for capitulating to the shallow-minded embrace of socialism embodied by progressives such as Senator Bernie Sanders. Well, then I guess Crowley fits right in, because Crowley is as establishment as you can get. Now, of course, if you talk to him or if you ask him that, he'll be like, no, I'm a progressive. I'm a great progressive. I believe in great progressive ideals. Okay, for example, what? Protecting the ACA, and Trump is bad. You know what? Trump is terrible. He's so bad. Which is funny because, as I said, he's going to a fundraiser at BGR. And, of course, the Trump administration and BGR are actually very friendly and have friendly relations. Now, the firm's lobbyists, for example, were invited to some of the first transition meetings after the election. Now, we know that much of Wall Street and much of the lobbyists and business interests bet on Hillary Clinton. However, BGR was different. BGR actually bet on President Trump. They donated directly to Donald Trump's campaign. Interesting. So these ties keep on. Why would you go as a Democratic senator to raise money from BGR, from a group that is tied, that is donated to President Trump? But look, that's what Crowley does. Crowley doesn't care where his money comes from because Crowley is what we call a bagman. He goes and he gets all the money and he gives it to other Democrats. In fact, the Intercept reported previously, Crowley's rise within the Democratic Party ranks is tied to his ability to raise large sums of money from corporate lobbyists and political action committees. Now, because of his fundraising prowess, he won endorsements from both local and national Democrats with a history of getting money from Crowley-controlled PACs. He is the money man. He's all about raising more money. He doesn't care where he gets it from. And the only reason that he's got a powerful position is because he gives that money out to other campaigns. He hasn't done anything progressive. He's not a progressive. He is a corporate Democrat. And again, he's a hypocrite. Because while he calls out Trump, says, oh, Trump is so terrible, he's taking the same money that he's getting donations from the same places that give donations to President Trump and gave it during their campaigns. So, look, that's resistance here on the Democratic side, unfortunately. Now, look, recently I watched a debate between Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Crowley. And, look, you could see what he was about during that debate. She talked about substantive issues. She talked about the need for tuition-free public education. She talked about the need for Medicare for all. And he talked about the need to just resist Trump. Well, how are you resisting Trump if you're taking money from the same people that give Trump money? As usual, this is another corporate Democrat that will keep taking money from the right wing while claiming to oppose them. There is no change with these people in the Democratic Party. What they are is, again, they're hypocrites. They don't care about progressive policy, and this is why they need to get voted out. So New York, you have a chance to elect a true progressive, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Do so. And of course, I'm going to put a way to donate to her campaign in the description of this video. So, and don't forget, get out there, support her campaign, and vote, most importantly, so we can get these corporate Democrats out. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.